Today the game is a retro Raygun action-adventure in the Atomic Age. Now, I don't have quite enough models to do a great battle, so I'm going to be using some substitutes here just to make it a little bigger. This end of the table, I've got the Galacteers and the Valkyrie working together. Here's a Valkyrie squad. There are supposed to be 5 models, but I'm just making them 3, again, to make my models go a little further. Princess Allura there is just going to count as just a regular model. I won't pull out her hero profile. There's another Valkyrie squad. There's a Galacteer tactical squad with a hero. I'm using the Commander Mudpie miniature. I'm calling him Captain Stephen Hopper. I'm using Ace McGuire's profile. Here are some Galactic Aces. I'm just going to call them a Galacteer Squad to just take off the rocket packs. And then another Galacteer Squad with Jane Hunter next to them. And then finally Zephyra on Rocket Sled. Over on our Robot Legion side, we've got a squad horde of mini-bots, tactical, just Legionnaire squad. And then I'm counting them as a Legionnaire squad. They are the models I was talking about that I'm using to help bolster them. They're robots, kind of, so, you know, they're from a different game, but it'll work for me. Destroyer bot and another unit or another squad of Legionnaires. I'm just trying one objective for each side. If one side can both fulfill their objective and prevent the other side from fulfilling their objective, we'll call it a great win. Otherwise, if they can just do one or the other, it's an okay win or a tie. So there's an alien relic of some kind that the Galacteers and Valkyrie want to come up and successfully science it. I'll probably need to set a difficulty yet for it. I'll pick a number that seems to make sense. And over on this side of the table is a weapons cache that the Robot Legion want to destroy. So that's going to be, depending on the destroyer bot, getting a line of sight on it. A quick rule summary. Each unit has a small profile here that tells you what type of a unit it is, how big their base size, how many points they are for if you're building a scenarios, how many models are in the unit, what their speed is. Usually there's only one value. The Galacteers have a special rule called Jump Pack, which you can see in their special properties. That gives them a special movement speed if they only move on their turn. Most units have a direct fire attribute, which has no range associated to it. It's considered this is the far future, so most ranged weapons are powerful enough to reach across any small-scale battlefield. Indirect fire, grenades, seeking missiles, that sort of stuff. Defense, what you roll when you're defending. Brawl, what you roll if you're attacking someone in melee. And then every unit has an area for special skills if they have any, and then special properties such as special rules like a jump pack and the ability to climb. The game uses a roll-off mechanic called the Raygun roll-off. How that works is both your attacker and your defender roll dice. If it's a direct fire attack, your attacker would roll dice equal to their attack, say it was 3, and your defender would roll dice equal to their defense stat, let's say it's 2. You'd roll them off, and then you'd start comparing and see what the highest uncontested dice is that the attacker gets. So in this case, basically you would, your 5 here would block this 2, but wouldn't do anything to these 2 6s, so those 2 6s to get through. So basically dice can be blocked by the defender. And in this case, since the 6 is what resulted, we just consult a simple table here, direct fire results. The 6 means scattered, and the unit's completely removed from the table. So there's no tracking of HP or anything like that. It just uses the dice to drive unit morale and if they're going to be fighting again or not. And there are some bonuses that you take into account and not. The Robot Legion won initiative, and the Destroyer bot took first activation because it had a line of sight to a Galacteer unit over there. That's right, you don't see that Galacteer unit anymore because they rolled a retreat, so they were forced to move into cover behind those rocks. So, alright, up first for my Galacteers and Valkyrie is this Valkyrie squad here, and they happen to deploy within open line of sight towards that unit of Robot Legionnaires. So they're going to make a direct fire attack on that. Since all they are doing this action is shooting and they are not moving, they're going to get a couple bonuses. They're going to get a no movement bonus, so they're going to get an additional die. Actually, that's not an additional die, that's +1 to a die roll. So they're rolling the same number of dice, but they will get to make a 5, a 6, or a 4, a 5. They also are fully clear. Their target isn't obscured at all, so they're going to get an additional +1 because of that. So Valkyrie get 4 dice against 4 defense on the Robot Legion. And they get +2 because of they're not moving and their shots are in the clear, so this we'll just make that a 6, that a 5. The highest this 3 can take out that 3, and that 2 can take out that 2, just for purposes of illustration, but it doesn't have any effect because the 6 is the result that wins, and it eliminates this unit of robots from the table. So we'll pull them. Now, unfortunately for my Robot Legion, that unit was my second to go, so they aren't able to activate this turn, and we'll go back to the Galacteers and the Valkyrie. Alright, it's this Galacteer squad with the hero attached, so we're going to decide what we want to do with them. Alright, we're going to do a combo action with them. We're going to move them up to half their movement and make a skill or combat. So I think they'll have line of sight to that other unit of robots over there, so they're going to move up 6 inches. Alright, now they've moved. They can still see that unit of robots over there, but barely. So we're going to roll an attack, but there's going to be some modifiers in play. Alright, looking at the direct fire bonuses, we've got protected in play here. At least half of the defenders are partially hidden. So the defender is going to get +1 to their roll. Here's where heroes come into play. Our Galacteer squad has a direct fire of 5. And Stephen Hopper here, who is a hero attached to that unit, has got a attachment boost, which is luck. You can remove an enemy die per roll-off. Again, this is the profile for the character Ace McGuire. I'm just using him. I just basically renamed him and using a different model. But let's roll our 5 versus 4 defense die. Give 1 bonus to the enemy and remove 1 die for the enemy's roll-off. We'll see what happens. Alright, the white dice are the attackers. So first, we're going to use the luck ability before applying any bonuses. So we're going to pull this 4 from the results. And then the defenders are going to use their bonus of being able to increase this 4 to a 5, which means that nothing happens. That their defender's 5 blocks the attacker's highest result, which is also a 5. And that attack fails. Activation 3 for the Robot Legion. It's that same unit of Legionnaires that was just attacked by that Galacteer squad over there. They're going to return fire, and since at least one of them does have line of sight to the group, they're going to be able to make that shot. I think it's just assumed that the others are mobile and not necessarily static in position, and the overall position on the table for that unit is good enough to be able to get a shot. But again, they're going to get some, the defenders are going to get a penalty because not all of the models are visible completely. Actually, They might not, because since I'm using fewer models, only one of them is partially hidden, and the others are in the open. So they're not going to get the fully open bonus, but I don't think they're going to get the protected bonus either, because at least half of the defending unit's models must be partially hidden to get that bonus. So the robots are going to roll. They're going to get their bonus for making a quality shot because they are not going to be moving. And let's see what happens. All right, I've got 5 dice for the attacking robots and 4 for the defending Galateers. And we see a couple 6s here. We do get a bonus just for the attackers, so we'll make this 4 a 5, and it is... Nope, it's an attack successful. So the Galateer unit is scattered. Now, because we do have an attached hero with that unit, we're going to get to make a choice here. Ooh. Actually, the attacker is going to get to make a choice. See how I've got 2 uncontested 6s here? That is an amazing shot. That means that the attacker gets to pick whether it's the unit or the hero that is eliminated from play. Now, the unit's actually kind of more effective. It gets more combat dice, but the heroes often have nice bonuses, and that bonus to eliminate a die during a roll is pretty powerful. So we're going to pull our captain off with that attack. For the coalition's number 4, we've got the unit of Galateers with a heavy weapon, with Jane Hunter supporting them. They're going to use their jump packs to just blast forward and position themselves to a point where they will be able to jump out easily to attack the robot destroyer in a future turn. All right, 4 for the Robot Legion is a horde of mini-bots. Hordes are a little different. They act as a single unit, but you apply results a little differently. Basically, anytime they're attacked, they lose a model, whether the attack is successful or not, and thus get slowly whittled down to the point where they're a little more vulnerable, because as you can see from their profile, they're in this case they only have brawl and defense, but their attribute is dependent on how many models they have. So right now, at a full strength of 8, they have 8 defense dice, so they're really hard to actually hit. So just anytime they take an attack, they'll be reduced by 1. They moved 14 inches up around the edge of the table to try and outflank the opposing forces. Activation 5 for our coalition, we've got our Galactic Aces. And again, I'm just going to use a Galateer squad profile and just ignore the jump pack rule. They're fewer models, but they're aces. So, all right, they're making a combo action. They moved 6 inches to take cover behind this hedge here. Only one of the models is really obscured, but since I've only got 2 models there, that's half of the models in the unit. Kind of an advantage of having a smaller unit, I guess. And they're going to take a shot on this destroyer bot and see if they can take him out before he can destroy the objective. So they're going to be shooting with their profile of 5 dice with those little pistols. Death ray pistols, I guess. So I've got 5 dice attack versus 5 dice defense. For bonuses, we have fully clear, so the attackers will get a +1. And that is it. Okay. Bad news for the attackers. I picked some of my worst rolling dice for them. They still get to apply their +1, so that'll make that a 4 into a 5. But that's going to be nothing. That's going to be nothing. And then the defender wins with a 5. So nothing happens and the attack fails. 5th for the robots was this unit here. They had started behind this rock face and they just double moved, took a full movement action to advance up the table to draw some of the fire from the real unit they need is a destroyer bot. So maybe an unbalanced battle, we'll find out. I'm just playing narratively for fun here. I've got 2 activations left for the heroes here. And I just realized now that I skipped my 3 over here. So we'll do Zephyra now, who was my 3. We get to see a few new rules for Zephyra. The first is flying, so she basically ignores terrain. She also gets, it also means she can only turn twice each round up to 90 degrees. And she has a strafe attack, which basically gives her a free shot if she rotates at something that's directly in front of her during the course of that rotation. So with a full move, she gets to move 24 inches. I'm moving her 20 inches just over this terrain piece. She's going to rotate herself 90 degrees, roughly about there, I believe, which will swing her front around, pointing at either the robot destroyer or that unit of Cyborg Legion there, which means she gets her free strafe attack on one of those. I'll just go for that unit of Legions first. All right, there's the attack roll versus the defense. She does get a bonus of 1 because of being the enemy is fully in the clear for her, so we'll bump that up to a 6, but it's not enough, and the attack fails. We get to go ahead and finish her movement because the strafe is just part of her movement, so she has 4 inches left, so she's just going to move ahead 4 more inches. All right, that leaves the last unit to go, this unit of Valkyrie here. And they're actually going to take a full move action because they have a science skill, so they'll be able to actually take that objective. So they're just going to move up as close to they can to that cover and let the Galacteers kind of be their shield. All right, that ends round 1. We had a couple losses on between both sides, and we'll set up for round 2. All right, the coalition gets to go first. Turn 2. So our Galacteer unit is going to start off, and they're just going to stay still and take a quality shot on that horde of mini-bots. All right, I didn't have enough white dice for the defense, or for the... I didn't have enough dark dice for the defense, so I had to swap the white dice for defense, and of course now they rolled really good. So I don't have my hero's bonus to remove a dice anymore. We're going to get a +1, so we're going to get to make this 3 into a 4 because of the fully clear. And then we're going to get another +1 because we didn't move, so I'm going to get to make this 4 into a 5. And guess what? Yeah, that's not going to do a thing. So the horde is completely unscathed, but just because of the nature of how hordes work, they are going to lose a single model, which will reduce their defense to 7 the next time they are attacked. Up first for the robots is the Cyber Legion unit, and they are going to march forward into cover here. They should have plenty of movement. And then they're going to make a ranged attack, direct fire on, I think, Zephyra, since she's open. We'll try and take her out. And she's fast and has science skills, so she's able to secure her objective. All right, 5 to 4. The bottom row is the attackers. So let's see, I have a +1 for being fully in the clear, which will again not make any difference because the defending 6 will cancel out my 5, and that attack misses. Second up for this team is this unit of Valkyrie here. I think I'm going to have them try to move around and continue to whittle down those mini-bots. There's their move. Now they'll shoot. All right, there's the attack versus the defense. We're going to get our +1 because they are completely in the open. And that is going to be a successful attack with a result of the enemy scattered. So the horde of mini-bots is gone. Unit 2 for our robots will be our destroyer bot. He wants to get into a position to shoot, so he's going to advance 5 and make his attack. Alright, Destroyer Bot attacking. Nothing happens. There's the dice results. Not even with modifiers are we going to be able to get enough 6s to block that defense. Activation 3 for our Galacteers. Our Galactic Aces went and they wanted to make a quality shot on that Destroyer Bot to try and take him out. And, well, he rolled 3 6s to block it, so nothing happened there either. Activation 3 for our robots would have been the mini-bots, so it's back to the Galacteers and Valkyrie turn. They are moving back just enough to be able to shoot that unit of Legionnaires, but not enough that Destroyer Bot can see them without moving. These attack dice cannot win today, so the heavy weapons team launches a missile, attacks the robot Legion hiding behind the bushes, and they did roll a 6, but everything else is horrible. So we do get a bonus for the defenders because they are all behind, or at least partially hidden, which will make that a 5. That's actually enough, and that 6 gets through, and the unit of robots is eliminated. I had an extra die on that roll because of our hero attached to the unit chain Hunter. Her ability is to add an extra die to direct fire. That just leaves this unit of robots for the Legionnaires, and they are going to stay put and make a quality fire on that unit of Galacteers and hope to take somebody out in this game. And after applying bonuses, that shot is a miss too. The defender completely blocks the attack. The last unit to go was the unit of Valkyrie, and they moved their full 12 inches to go take cover behind those bushes and move themselves up closer to their objective. And I forgot Zafira again. This time at least it wouldn't have mattered because there wasn't enough robots left. But I'll have her go next. So I had her turn and zip around, turning twice to take cover behind that rock, but she still was able to turn with the robot destroyer in her line of fire, so she's going to make her strafe attack on him. Finally, the attack dice roll in the favor of the attacker, and we get 3 6s. I don't think there's any bonuses except for fully clear, which even gives her an extra +1. So she destroys that destroyer bot, taking out their only unit that has the demolition skill, which means that the robots will not be able to fulfill their objective, destroying this weapons cache. And with as much as outnumbered as they are at this point, we're just going to call that a win on behalf of the Galacteers and the Valkyrie, who I'm sure are manipulating them to their ends anyway right now. So that ends that battle. Hope you had fun. It's always a fun game to play. It's light, it moves fast. The dice resolution system is pretty simple and doesn't require a lot of extra tokens or anything on top of the table. So it's just kind of easy to play. Light beer and pretzels type of blow your friends up type game. Have a good one.